I'm neither ashamed nor embarrassed to admit this. Attack on Titan is a show that's actually pretty special to me. I want to spend this video kind of going over my entire perspective on Attack on Titan, and my god, is it hype. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything about the finale here, but there is some important moments, especially with a character death, that I think is handled in such an incredibly thrilling way. There's a background track playing. It's a great song as they're just going hog wild, killing Titans. And that's of course not the only moment. It's Attack on Titan. That's far from the only death. But I wanted to highlight that because that's something I always appreciate in anime. The ability to make a character death actually fulfilling and satisfying, and making it a moment that makes sense, where it's not just like, we're gonna kill this character because we're trying to subvert your expectations. We don't want to get comfortable, so we gotta shock you. This is a decision a character makes that is totally logical, and they're a fucking hero for it, and they handle it really well. And I also really like the song that's playing in the background. I love those moments in anime where they have like this fucking track playing, the lyrics are going wild as the characters fighting for their life in a really like big frenzy. It's so cool. It's really great. Now, of course, I haven't read the manga. I've actually stopped myself from reading the manga multiple times over the years because I want to experience it in the show first. I do know that the reception to the manga's ending was extremely mixed. I have a good idea on how this wants to wrap itself up, and if I'm right, I won't be disappointed if it goes in that direction, though I could see why others would be. I know there were a lot of people that weren't super satisfied. I don't know the ending myself right now, but I do think I know how this is going to conclude, and if it does do it the way I think it will, I won't be one of those people that think it sucks. But we'll see. Maybe it's different than I'm anticipating, and maybe I won't like it, but right now, I fucking love where it's going. There's never a dull moment in this. It was just so much going on, and it was so good. I don't know, I just really fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Attack on Titan is really a show that I feel everyone can find something to like in, even if you're not like a shonen fan. I feel like it offers an extremely unique and fun story that's not afraid to get gruesome and not afraid to kill off beloved characters. It's not afraid to do a lot of things most other anime shy away from, and I appreciate that. Of course, it still has its tropiness, it still has some cliches and some silly shit, but overall, it's just a really well-written story with characters that are super like fleshed out with a lot of depth. The story's gone in directions I would have never been able to predict or anticipate. There's just never been a time where Attack on Titan looked bad. There's plenty of things I can understand people like not liking about certain aspects of it, but on the whole, it's a show whose quality has never really wavered, and it's always maintained this extreme level of polish and beauty to it, at least visually. And I really do feel like it presents one of the most compelling narratives I've seen in a long time from anime. I can't get over it because it does something that I always love, making the main character slowly turn into the bad guy, someone that you start feeling guilty if you're rooting for them. Code Geass is my favorite anime, and it does something very similar with Lelouch. In the beginning, you're pumping your fist, yeah, Lelouch, and eventually he starts doing some real fuck shit and making some truly evil decisions, and you start to wonder, is this a bad guy? Is this the villain now? And as it continues, you keep asking that question until you get to the point where it's like, yep, this is pretty unforgivable shit. But they do a good job of slowly building that up and even giving you reasons why what they're doing is almost justifiable and makes sense, that it might even be for the greater good. In Code Geass is what I'm still talking about. Attack on Titan tackles something very similar with its main character, Eren Yeager. He went from the protagonist, he's the Attack Titan, and like a righteous kid. Like he's always looking out to try and make sure his comrades are safe, protecting everyone. Just very cliche anime good guy. My friends are the most important thing in the world. We can do anything with the power of friendship punch, that kind of shit. But as the show's continued, he's become much less of the good guy, and now he is the main antagonist. Eren Yeager is the ultimate bad guy. He is a genocidal maniac. He is committing mass murder on a global scale with the Rumbling. He now commands an unstoppable force of these colossal titans that nobody has the equipment or the power necessary to deal with. So he is literally trampling all of humanity from outside, outside the walls. So he's not the good guy. You can't root for him, but they've built that up slowly, and it wasn't just like this flip of a switch like Game of Thrones season 8 where Daenerys just starts burning everyone to death like, I guess I'll be evil now. This was slowly built up and really feels very natural for the character. Like his reasoning, you can almost rationalize too. His entire race, the Eldians, were treated like devils, isolated to this, complete podunk corner of the world, behind these walls, cut off from the rest of civilization for 100 years. And now he just bears all of this hatred from the world that the world put onto them. He is now the embodiment of that hatred and is projecting it out against the rest of them in order to protect his group, the Eldians, the ones behind the walls. So like, it's terrible what he's doing, but he does have his own reasons for it. Of course, it's not like a great reason for actual genocide, but it's of course a reason, one that's not just like cartoonishly evil, twirling his mustache like, I just want humanity to die. I just really appreciate what they've done with his character in particular. They've done a great job with all the characters, but that is always something I can commend. It's such a big risk to take. Your main character, the protagonist, and making them the bad guy eventually. It's just such a bold move. Like, that shit is a Hail Mary, and if you flop around, you waffle about, and you start to fuck it up, then you ruin the entire experience and everyone hates it. But luckily that's not the case here. And characters that seemed like they were going to be there for the long haul died, but they didn't just die in like pathetic, wimpy, weak, not satisfying ways. They go out like fucking heroes. And it's, like I said, it's a show that wasn't afraid to take those risks. I really think it's just a masterpiece of anime. I can't talk highly enough about it. And I really like the finale part 1, and I'm super excited for the second part. That's about it. See ya.